So Sean, you were part of the problem. You're on council at one stage, eh?
Yeah, I mean, which problem are you talking about?
Well, okay, do we have a problem in Wellington?
Look, the New Zealand economy needs to turn a corner, and we've had some good news recently. I mean, those mortgage rates kill you, right? You know, we can talk about rates, and my rates have doubled since 2013. $300 a week, I think I'm paying now, and that's before the water meter charges. But in reality, a 1% change in your mortgage rate can actually add thousands onto it. So that's been a real important to see that coming down, and hopefully that'll feed out. But I do think though that we're in a slump here in Wellington. It's all bad news, and some of the government's policies which are publicly we've been told about cuts and so on, but I hear actually the cuts aren't as widespread as they have been publicised. But nevertheless, I think there's a lot of naysayers here. Naysayers on both sides of the political spectrum, and I think we need to actually wake up and smell the coffee. My two kids finished school yesterday, went down to Clyde Quay and went fishing.
So you think we're talking ourselves into it a bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think when I got on the council, I sort of figured, well, what do we really do as city councillors? Surely the first thing we are is champions for the city. And I said this to my colleagues, we need to be the figureheads. Even if behind closed doors we've got real concerns, publicly we come out and we say we love Wellington, it's the best place and all that sort of thing. But that just never seems to happen. It all gets mired in political, shenanigans.
The big issue seems to be that there's a distrust appears with the council, there's distrust within the council. It's not a good look. I mean, Wellington is painted as a dysfunctional city.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's two things I think we need to be very clear about. There's nothing dysfunctional about elected members disagreeing and doing that publicly. That is what we're elected for. In my maiden speech, I said that. In my valedictory speech, I celebrated it. Some of the ding-dong fights that I had with different members of the council were absolutely fine. But nevertheless, when you get some councillors voting, for example, to simply undermine the mayor, and we had that in the last triennium, simply they didn't like Andy Foster, so from day one they marshalled their forces and made his life uncomfortable, one-term mayor. Paul Eagle didn't get the nod, which was a big surprise, but Tory did. Well, we're now starting to see, we've got election next year, so those Labour guys have been championing Tory and now sort of maybe undermining her a wee bit, joined by some people on the other side. But anyway,
how can you make it work in the cabinet? You're always going to have this, aren't you? You're going to have division. You go people with different agendas. How are you going to get a common sense direction within a council that's so split?
So in my view, first of all, political diversity is healthy. Being able to reach across the aisle and to be able to do things. Some of the most important support that I had on the council came from the other side of the political spectrum. Very rarely was it reciprocated, but nevertheless I was open to listening to the other side. I also think that I looked at the mayoral candidate debates, went to a few of those debates in the last electoral campaign, and no one seemed to be articulating their vision. Andy Foster had to sort of portray the long-term plan that he got voted into. Didn't really support. Paul Eagle, who had years to actually plan his long-term vision, said, I'm going to hold a review. That was Paul's, my God. And Tory, she came through the middle with a lot of big tailwind from the press as well, and articulated, I suppose to be fair, a Green Party type of view. And anyone who felt that she wasn't part of the Green Party because her membership had lapsed, needed to maybe think again. So, but, why aren't we having politicians campaign on a vision? Things like the Heritage Park in Miramar. I mean, bring that to the top of the agenda and Miramar will love you for it. We've got the second Mount Vic tunnel now. Now, I was an Eastern Ward councillor, and a lot of people very vocally with the key plant warriors would talk about, the anti-car thing. And, we don't want to have those cars, we want cyclones, but actually get out in the public and they love the idea of a second Mount Vic tunnel. So anyway, just championing those big projects, and that's going to come through shortly. So we need to start listening to the people instead of maybe some of the international academics.
Okay, what's the top problem in Wellington right now?
I think the hospitality sector is without doubt struggling. I've interviewed a number of people with Hotline, and without doubt they've said it's the worst it's ever been.
And if you could, you've been on council, you've been on the inside, you've seen it from the outside. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do around the council that's going to make things better?
So I think next year's election year, we need a mayoral campaign where one or others set out very clearly their vision, and they make sure that they vote for councillors that will support that vision.
Cool. All right.
Okay, Mark, just ask Sean, favourite restaurant, favourite beach, Wellington Beach.
Okay, all right. Hey, in terms of, you love Wellington. Look, everyone should love Wellington. It can be hard at times. So for your favourite restaurant?
I love the Crabshack, actually, on the waterfront on a nice day, and you get a real special sort of menu there. So Crabshack.
Have you tried Bel Air?
Can't say I had, no.
Tory Street used to be Cafe 88.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Affordable French cuisine. You get a dessert for $7.
Oh, okay. Well,
$7. $7. It's called Bel Air, and it is fantastic. So but starting a restaurant. See, that's the thing that I was interested to brought that up. To start a restaurant in these times is pretty ballsy.
Yeah. Well, I should imagine so. Although, recently I interviewed a bloke who's started up a kosher bakery, which is going great guns. So I think there's still opportunity. There's niche. It's about marketing. It's about being better than the other guys.
Okay, restaurant. What about beaches? What's the best beach in Wellington?
Oh, Lyallbay. Lyallbay is just a gem. Surf. Almost guaranteed surf all the time. Get a wetsuit though. I'm from Hawke's Bay where it's hot. Get a wetsuit, take your kids along. Brilliant.
See, I go to Lyallbay a lot, but I go there to walk my dog.
Go there and walk the dog as well.
That's right, and chase the surfers. All right, good.